All right, so a happy flight, right? On the way to me. The Dodgers on their way to Boston, already here, obviously. At least I know Vassay's already in Boston. He was already having dinner at an Italian joint in my town. Can't wait to see the boys. Can't wait to go to Fenway tomorrow and see them. But more importantly, they got a much-needed victory yesterday, Clint, thanks to Frederick Freeman. What was your takeaway from yesterday's series finale against the Twins?
So that's Frederick if you're nasty, but what a bipolar series. Obviously, we were live post-gaming on Tuesday. The vibes, we will say, were at kind of an all-time low at that point. But a day after Dave Roberts says, the Dodgers are at kind of their rock bottom, like you said, Freddie Freeman walks it off against the Twins. You secure that series win for the Dodgers. You take 2 of 3 in the series the ugly way. And I ask, is this maybe... I mean, there's a few good things. I want to talk about Glasnow. I want to talk about the overall health of the team, and we'll get into that in today's show. But is this finally the spark this team needs?
I don't know. Hi, Bruce Davis. He says, hi, Alana. Hi, Clint. Hi, everyone. What's up, buddy? Thanks for being here. I don't know. I feel like we've been saying that a lot, right? Like, we're like, is this the spark? Is this the moment? Is this like all they need the break from the All-Star game, and they didn't really play well coming out of the All-Star break. And, I just feel like when you have a roster that is this talented, like, we shouldn't be searching for a spark. I understand lulls. I get that. Remember, what year was it? 17 when they lost 14 in a row or whatever it was. I just don't think that we should be searching for that spark. This team is way too talented. That being said, we're going to get a big spark soon, and it has nothing to do with the trade deadline. But let's talk about the positives, and that is Tyler frickin' Oppenheimer Glasnow. He has looked so flippin' good. Yeah, especially in his most recent outing. But really, Clint, the last 3 outings he's had since coming off the IL, Sonia Chen, who covers the team for MLB.com, this is her tweet, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk. It's the punchies. You and I were talking about the punchies, Clint. 12 Ks on 106 pitches, 69 of those for strikes. That is the Glasnow that I had hoped the Dodgers would sign.
Yeah, that's the guy that they traded for, the guy that they signed immediately or inked to that extension. This is the dude they thought could be one of the co-aces for this ball club alongside, they also add Yoshinobu Yamamoto last offseason. And you're seeing this. You're seeing Glasnow on the bump, Shohei Ohtani getting better with each start in the starting rotation, Clayton Kershaw being good, Yamamoto still being in the Cy Young conversation, and Blake Snell not too far away. Maybe there's some hope for this Dodgers team after all. You get the good vibes, you get the happy flight, a long flight to Boston, but a healthy and dominant Tyler Glasnow absolutely is a game changer. We should mention Snell, by the way. Right? He's going back out on one could be one more rehab assignment, and that kind of has it's a pretty big effect on not only the starting rotation but obviously the bullpen, and to an effect what this team does at the trade deadline.
Well, that's just it, right? You and I were talking about that in our production meeting earlier today, and it's like you said it best. You said nobody can sign Blake Snell besides the Dodgers, right? And it's not even like you have to go out and give anything away for him. We already have him, and it's going to be the biggest trade acquisition that's not a trade acquisition or a deadline acquisition, rather, because we already have him on the roster. And even if it's 2 more rehab outings, we are anticipating a return the first week of August, and that is massive. What's up, Diane Schroeder? Great to be with you. Hi, Alana and Clint. I mean, this is something that's so cool to have Blake Snell back. And then again, that lends the question of what happens. Who's the odd man out as far as the starting rotation is concerned, Clint? And you and I both think, I look at it one of 2 ways, and both to me seem like a viable possibility. I think Dustin May goes to the bullpen, which I've been screaming for since before the season before we started the season, or Dustin May is involved in some sort of package to get some sort of other relieving core. I have thought Dustin May's stuff played in the bullpen really, really well. I think he's a really good, 2-3 inning bulk innings guy. And you said it best. He's a 2-pitch pitcher. Yeah. That doesn't play in the starting rotation. Have we seen the last of Dustin May in a Dodgers uniform?
That's a tough question. I mean, obviously, we talked about that a little bit on Tuesday with Dave Vassay's mention or his blurb on AM 570 radio that, he kind of saw something with Dustin May that kind of lended itself to maybe that was his last time making a start in a Dodger uniform at Dodger Stadium. I still think, they've done this before. This team has done this before where they've traded away starters, like important pieces, guys that they run out every week, every fifth day. So Dustin May is absolutely not safe in that regard. That said, I think it makes more sense for him to move to the bullpen. With the state of the bullpen, I'm seeing people in the chat mentioning, Kirby Yates and his struggles. Tanner Scott, you still don't know how long he's going to be out. Ben Kasparius has struggled mightily over the last 2 months.
He was Dustin so strong.
May, he got the what did Dave call it? The kind of not an audition, but it should be a once-off for D May in the bulk role behind Shohei Ohtani. That could be his role. Put him out after Shohei
But so you just only use him every fifth day? So he becomes, in essence, he becomes a starting pitcher that's not a starter? I guess I could see a world in which that plays. But let me ask you this too, and you and I again had talked about this. Like Justin May is going to be a free agent at the end of the season, right? So maybe he says, and I don't know, this is just a conversation piece. I'm not suggesting that Dustin May said this at all. But maybe Dustin May says, listen, I'm a starter, a la Alex Wood. I am not a bullpen guy. I do not want to be put in the bullpen because I want to showcase what I can do as a starter in the event that as a free agent, the Dodgers obviously don't bring him back, offer him bring him back or extend him to anything. And he goes into free agency and he wants to be a starter. But think about that for a second. Sometimes be careful what you wish for. Because remember when Ross Stripling was bounced back and forth between the starting rotation and the bullpen, and Ross would have done anything for that club, his career did not go very well after he left the Dodgers. And again, I'm not suggesting that Ross said anything like, I'm a starter, I only want to be a starter, that type of thing. Think about the kid that just went from the Brewers, I'm a starter, what are you doing? And now he's with the freaking Chicago White Sox. So be careful what you wish for. Like, you got to say, would I rather be in a bullpen role on a team that contends every single year? I know I'm going to the postseason. I'm going to get a playoff share, this, that, and the other thing. Or do I want to take a chance and end up being a starter on a team like the Pirates or whatever? And again, I have no idea what the conversation has been, but I'm thinking, man, I think his stuff plays in the pen. Put Dustin May in the pen. That kind of solves a relief arm issue. Mm-hmm. And it also obviously, you're going to do whatever Blake Snell's in the rotation, period. Yeah. So I don't know. What does he do?
On that conversation about maybe Dustin being like, listen, I really would love to start. I think that was sort of the conversation that Strip had with the team in 20. It's like, listen, if you can get me an opportunity to start somewhere, I'd appreciate it. Maybe not. I don't know. The Dodgers hadn't won a World Series up to that point. Dustin May has 2 rings now in his, his collection that he saw last year. The Dodgers offloading at James Paxton as well. The year before, much less important of a piece, but Noah Syndergaard. They trade these type of dudes, but they have the bodies to make something special, to make a good prospect haul, something that's going to entice the Boston Red Sox when it comes to starting pitching. If it is Dustin May, if it is somebody that's on the doorstep of being ready to go, Justin Wrobleski, come on down. He is somebody who is a pretty decent starter right now, and if they need a frontline top 50 pipeline prospect, Jackson Ferris will do more in a trade to bring back a center fielder than he's going to do for the team this year. I understand people would love to see Jackson Ferris make his debut with the Dodgers, but we all more trade rumors talk. I think that's fun. I think that's fair, and I got a front end for that. Is that Andrew Friedman?
I was about to say, who's that supposed to be? Andrew Friedman doesn't wear glasses like that, but that's funny. It's kind of like Doogie Howser meets Howard Wolowitz from your favorite show, Big Bang Theory. All right, so again, I love that show. Yeah. Dustin May, again, being kind of dangled in trade talks. Yeah. You
guys talked about this today, of course, you and Ken. We did.
Ken Rosenthal on Fair Territory and I talked about this. And, again, I see a situation in which both could be true. I could see Dustin May being packaged to go someplace else, Boston, or I could see Dustin May being a part of this team for the remainder of it, but probably in a very different role than we've seen him be in before. Yeah. And again, we talked about it. Like, this isn't the first time this has happened, right? You had mentioned last year, James Paxton. The year before that, or 2023, Noah Syndergaard, although Thor was horrific. And then in 2020, our friend now, who's doing some guest hosting on Foul Territory, Ross Stripling, who I absolutely adore with every part of my being.
Strip is he's one of the best ones. I'd also completely forgot that you were at the when they did the Big Swing live event at Baseballism in Arizona. Completely forgot you were there.
Thank you.
But yeah,
I'm glad I left a lasting impression.
I forgot about the event in general. But I remember getting a shout out from Cooper and all of that. It was a good time.
I used to love their podcast. I'm bummed that they stopped that podcast. Yeah. That was really good. Maybe they'll pick it up again now that, well, I don't know. Ross is getting more into media. Like I said, he's a host on Foul Territory.
Well, if they are, Cooper sent me a bunch of their old podcast equipment. I could send it back to him. Cooper Searles, give me a call. I actually need to call him because I need to. Anyways, that's a whole aside. But why it wouldn't make sense either way, I think that's the real question, and we'll get to bring this back up with Dustin May, because that is the kind of biggest story right now. If he does end up in the